Daniel Cross lived by a mantra: show up, no matter what. He wasn't the smartest in the office or the strongest at the gym, but he was always there. 5 a.m., treadmill. 9 a.m., coding. 9 o'clock p.m., personal project. Midnight, journaling and prep. No days off, no skipped reps, no missed deadlines. It made him proud, and for a while, it paid off. He went from junior engineer to team lead, ran his first built a productivity app that got featured on tech blogs. Everyone admired his drive. They called him disciplined, focused, unstoppable. But no one saw the cost. The mask of progress. Daniel's apartment was spotless, scheduled down to when the dishes were done. His meals were prepped to macros. His social life, busy, became his auto-response to everything that wasn't goal-related. When his mom called and said, "You sound tired, honey," he replied, "No time for tired." Success doesn't wait. But behind his rigid schedule, Daniel felt empty. Every goal checked off felt duller than the last. Every morning felt heavier. He didn't dare stop because stopping meant losing momentum, and momentum was everything. Right. The crash one Tuesday. It happened. Daniel was midway through his morning run when his legs gave out. Not twisted, not injured, just quit. He collapsed. Not just physically, mentally, emotionally. Paramedics said it was extreme exhaustion. His blood pressure was erratic, and his body was in full burnout. "You've been sprinting non-stop for too long. Your system's overloaded," the doctor said. Daniel didn't say a word. He couldn't. The voice in his head whispered, "But I was being consistent." The realization laid up in his apartment with nothing to do, no workouts, no projects, no performance. Daniel stared at the ceiling for hours. The silence was louder than any alarm. He finally opened a book he'd been putting off. "The obstacle is the way." One line broke him. Persistence without reflection is like running blind in the wrong direction. For the first time in years, he asked himself. Daniel sat up. Why am I doing all this? The truth was painful. He had used consistency as a shield, a way to avoid failure, a tool to escape his insecurities. If he kept moving, he never had to feel like he wasn't enough. The shift over the next few weeks, Daniel stopped doing things out of habit and started doing them with intention. He didn't wake up at 5 a.m. anymore just to run. Some days, he went for a walk. Other days, he read, or he returned to work, but with boundaries. He blocked off time for creativity, family, and actual rest. He reconnected with his younger brother, had coffee with an old friend, who even said yes to a spontaneous art class. And surprisingly, he felt more productive, not less. His focus returned, his creativity spiked, his health stabilized, and his happiness returned. The comeback 6 months later, Daniel signed up for another not to chase consistency, but because he wanted to. This time, he trained smart, not just hard. He slept, he laughed, he lived. At mile 42 of the race, when his body screamed to quit, he whispered back, "Not because I must, but because I can." He crossed the finish line with tears in his eyes and peace in his heart. Epilogue, a new mantra. Daniel still believes in consistency, but now it has a soul. He shares his story through a podcast called The Intentional Grind, where he reminds his listeners, consistency is not about never missing a day. It's about never forgetting why you started. Moral of the story: consistency is a double-edged sword. When fueled by fear, it becomes a cage. When guided by purpose, it becomes power. Know when to persist, but also know when to pause, to reflect, to redirect. Because true growth isn't just about showing up every day. It's about showing up as your full self.